This broadcast is for May 1st, 2026, Japan time. Welcome to Samurai MLB Talk. Thank you very much for watching. This channel is a place where we explore the essence of humanity through the lens of baseball, through the way we watch the game, the spirit behind it, and the philosophy it reflects from a uniquely Japanese perspective. To our viewers in the English-speaking world, I truly hope you'll enjoy this dialogue about human nature as seen through the game of baseball. Your support means more than I can say. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Part 1, Highlights of Japanese Athletes on May 1st, 2026, Japan time. Kazuma Okamoto of the Blue Jays played as the number 4 hitter and third baseman in the game against the Twins at Target Field. Unfortunately, the team suffered a 1-7 defeat. Okamoto ended the day with no hits. More than just Okamoto's performance. The Blue Jays' overall gameplay was very poor today. The atmosphere felt heavy, or rather, I couldn't feel any spirit from the team. There were errors that led to losing points, and frankly, it is impossible to win a game playing like that. As for Okamoto, his outs were mostly weak hits. So improvements will be necessary for the next game. He has been consistently placed in the cleanup spot lately. And I believe there is physical and mental fatigue. But I hope to see him lead the team to victory. With his characteristic performance starting from the next game. Today, there were no games for Muntaka Murakami or other Japanese players. From tomorrow, we will surely see many Japanese major leaguers back in action again. Part 2, Roki Sasaki's success was not built in a day. Now, let's talk about Roki Sasaki. As someone who cheers for Roki Sasaki, I am troubled by the fact that there are so many unpleasant topics surrounding him. Currently, there is a report circulating that claims Roki Sasaki is being cited as the most disappointing starting pitcher in MLB. After the first 31 games of the season. Are they trying to make me laugh? Roki Sasaki is still in training, he is a work in progress. Right now, he is accumulating discipline every day. Aiming to become the best pitcher in the world in MLB. Are you going to say, then do it in the minors? That is for the Dodgers to decide. As a development policy for Roki Sasaki, the Dodgers chose to give him a lot of experience on the MLB mound. By having him stand on the mound in the harsh environment of MLB. Struggling and finding challenges each time. Correcting them one by one, they will ultimately mold Roki Sasaki into the best pitcher in the world. This is the Dodgers' development policy for Roki Sasaki. There are still people who say old-fashioned things like, with Roki Sasaki's pitching level, he should be demoted to the minors. He should be developed in the minors. It can't be helped. That's how it used to be. But I am not talking about how it used to be. I am only interested in future glory. We are no longer in an era where we decide between the majors or minors. Based on current pitching levels according to old ways of thinking. People who are critical of the current Roki Sasaki need to update their thinking soon. Each player has their own characteristics and their own innate baseball sense. Above all, people should learn that each player has their own development policy. Just as everyone has a different appearance, different tastes, and different innate talents, it is only natural that each player has a different development policy. Of course, there are pitchers at the same level as Roki Sasaki who are being developed in the minors. That is because the team made the judgment that it was better to develop those specific pitchers by letting them gain experience in the minors. The authority to decide Roki Sasaki's development policy lies with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have adopted a policy of having him gain as much experience as possible on the big stage of MLB. American media and reporters probably don't know this. In fact, this development policy is the same one used when Shohei Ohtani joined the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. I speculate that Andrew Friedman, the president of baseball operations, Spoke with Hideki Kuriyama, the former manager of the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters, and the mentor who raised the two-way player Shohei Ohtani, and is reflecting those insights into Roki Sasaki's development policy. After Shohei Ohtani became a professional baseball player, as a two-way player in NPB, Kuriyama used Ohtani generously on big stages, wanting him to gain as much experience as possible. Naturally, there was criticism. He's not at the professional level yet. Two-way play is mocking professional baseball, and so on. The Japanese baseball veterans of that time really made fun of Kuriyama and Shohei Ohtani. But look at how it turned out. Through Kuriyama's management in developing Shohei Ohtani, and above all, through Shohei Ohtani's own passion and talent for baseball, two-way play quickly shone brightly in NPB. Shohei Ohtani went through many situations on the NPB stage, experiencing both success and failure. One must understand that each and every one of those experiences is the origin of the current unicorn, Shohei Ohtani. In other words, giving a player a lot of experience might seem like the team is favoring that player at first glance. But is that really true? There is a player with rare abilities who has not yet been able to fully demonstrate them. A foundation must be built so that he can exert his supreme baseball sense and ability without reservation. That foundation is built by gaining experience over and over again on the big stage of MLB. This is exactly the development plan for Roki Sasaki. If he learns one thing at a time on the mound each day, and eventually becomes a great player who leads the team to victory, it will be a massive success for the club. Listen, Roki Sasaki is still a work in progress. The Dodgers are making a long-term investment in the brand that is Roki Sasaki. Ultimately, that brand will skyrocket and become a profit for the team. Because they can see that potential, Roki Sasaki's development plan is based on the same policy from Shohei Ohtani's rookie days in NPB, gaining experience on the big stage. Even though there may be a lack of satisfaction right now, Roki Sasaki is in the Dodgers' starting rotation and taking the mound. Some media and reporters can only speak about what is right in front of them. I suppose it's fine for them as long as it sells articles or magazines. I will say it again, setting aside those who think whatever leads to immediate profit is the correct answer. The Dodgers are making a long-term investment in Roki Sasaki. Do you understand the meaning of a long-term investment? This is an investment method where you look far into the future, taking your time slowly and deliberately to eventually generate a large profit. I believe that people who have no experience finding value stocks are the ones criticizing Roki Sasaki and wishing for him to go to the minors. It is interesting that how a person perceives Roki Sasaki's current situation acts as a litmus test for their intelligence. Roki Sasaki will surely become the best pitcher in the world. How can that latent potential be brought out? The Dodgers thought about it. Andrew Friedman, the president of baseball operations, comes from an investment banking background. He now manages the Dodgers, but previously at the Rays. Even with few funds, he brought out the best in each player and made the team strong. The greatness of a player is not built in a day. Developing a player takes time. To develop a player and help them grow into a top-tier athlete, it is necessary to have a long-term perspective as a team, looking at the player's future potential and nurturing them, so they can contribute to the team's victory in the future. There isn't a single answer for this. As I say repeatedly, each player has their own personality and their own type. That is why each player has their own development policy and their own way of being used. Each player has their own position and a place to shine. That is what baseball is. And baseball is life itself. It beautifully represents human society. Not everyone is the same. There is no such thing as raising everyone the same way. Every single person is raised differently. The same can be said when developing baseball players. Whenever the topic of Roki Sasaki comes up, people appear who grumble about this and that. Based only on his immediate results and his current form. Let them say what they want. What can be said here is that the Dodgers are betting on Roki Sasaki's future. And with that potential in mind, they have adopted a development policy of giving him a lot of experience on the MLB mound right now. Even the great Shohei Ohtani grew through a development policy of gaining experience on many big stages during his time with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Roki Sasaki is exactly in the middle of his development. He is growing. Wait quietly. Eventually, as a new unicorn, and as the pitcher who succeeds Shohei Ohtani, Roki Sasaki will surely emerge. Until that time, there is only one thing we can do. That is to simply watch over his time on the mound and his pitching with warmth. Part 3, Shohei Ohtani's obsession with pitching. The amazing thing about Shohei Ohtani is that he boasts world-class skills in both pitching and hitting. Everyone would likely give that answer. However, in reality, those who have been involved with Shohei Ohtani say in unison, he is amazing as a pitcher, but he is even more amazing as a hitter. Such a statement is usually taken as a compliment. But I think it is different for Shohei Ohtani. In his mind, hitting is, to be blunt, not that difficult. Ohtani is a genius at hitting. If you told him he could focus only on aiming for hits throughout the season, I believe he would exceed Ichiro's annual hit count. That is how much of a genius Shohei Ohtani is when it comes to hitting. On the other hand, regarding pitching, unlike hitting, he is making a tremendous effort. Whether in front of the media or in front of others, people witness him practicing as a pitcher every day. He understands how difficult the pitcher position is, and that he cannot make it work without continuous daily effort. Regarding hitting, it's not that Ohtani doesn't put in effort, but I think it is something he is naturally better at. The proof is that few people have witnessed his batting practice many times, while many have seen his pitching practice. You rarely see him practicing as a hitter. Yet, once the season starts, he hits over 50 home runs. You can't call him anything other than a genius hitter. For batting practice, with Ohtani's sense, I think he can adjust to games just by having a machine throw 100 miles per hour balls to check the trajectory and get his eyes used to it. As for pitching, it is that daily accumulation that leads to his powerful performance on the mound. Everyone has likely witnessed his pitching practice. He always practices as a pitcher before a game. Whether it's his scheduled day to pitch or not, he plays catch every single day and goes through the same training. Just by watching his practice routine, I strongly feel that Ohtani's commitment to being a pitcher is intense. Also, I believe that pitcher Shohei Ohtani surely views hitter Shohei Ohtani as a rival. Up until now, most of the evaluation has been for his hitting. The pitching is amazing, but the hitting is even more amazing. This must be something of a humiliation for Shohei Ohtani. I feel that in Ohtani's mind, he actually wants to be praised more for his pitching. Because hitting also involves natural sense, he doesn't struggle with it that much. However, for pitching, he cannot reach his ideal performance without accumulating effort every day. That is why I think he spends more time practicing his pitching. That is how strong his feelings toward pitching are. When he was planning to sign a minor league contract with the Dodgers, after graduating high school, he didn't have the desire to be successful as a two-way player. That was because Ohtani himself thought that NPB would never allow two-way play. However, it was because Hideki Kuriyama and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters suggested let's do two-way play in the world of professional baseball. During the contract negotiations that Shohei Ohtani's two-way career began. Until Shohei Ohtani appeared, the idea of doing both hitting and pitching in the world of professional baseball was unthinkable in Japan. That's why Ohtani, as a high schooler, likely set a goal to become the best in the world as a pitcher, not as a two-way player. When I think about it now, it would be such a loss. If Shohei Ohtani were only a pitcher, that I would be shocked. I am glad that Shohei Ohtani is active as a two-way player. Let's get back to the topic. The reason Ohtani has such strong feelings for pitching is that he wrote on his high school goal sheet that he would become the best player in the world. That was a goal sheet born from the desire to be the best in the world as a pitcher. In other words, although Shohei Ohtani has become a home run king as a hitter and has led his team to a world championship, he is still in a situation where he has not yet achieved his original goal. His original goal, the dream he had during his high school days, is to become the best pitcher in the world. Dreaming of playing in MLB, Shohei Ohtani spent his high school days planning to go to the Dodgers immediately after graduation. After graduating high school, he was drafted by the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. And when the manager at the time, Hideki Kuriyama, and the team proposed two-way play during negotiations, it must have been one of the reasons he decided to start his professional baseball life in NPB. Thinking, if I can do both hitting and pitching in the professional world. He started his professional career as a two-way player. And as a hitter, he achieved 50-50 and became the best player in the world. In Ohtani's mind, naturally, he will aim to be the best in the world as a pitcher next, which is the Cy Young Award expected this season. Pitcher Shohei Ohtani is rivaling hitter Shohei Ohtani. And to catch up, he is having a season with the highest pitching power he has ever had. He will surely be very active as a hitter as well. However, he will be even more active as a pitcher. I interpret this as Shohei Ohtani approaching the season with an even stronger obsession with pitching, both to balance being the best in the world as a hitter and a pitcher, and to realize his high school goal of being the best pitcher in the world. I believe that the reason Shohei Ohtani is more obsessed with pitching than hitting is to become the best player in the world with a perfect balance of both pitching and hitting as a two-way player. That is all for today. Thank you very much.